and this is Tacos Live with Jay and Jeff. And boys, how are we doing today?
Hey, what's going on?
So
check out our environment. What do you think, Brandon? We're hanging out in Phoenix. So listen, this is totally different than anything we've ever done. We're not nervous about it at all, as you can tell, because we're like seasoned veterans. And by seasoned, I mean spicy. But check it out. So I heard Jeff was going to come over to Phoenix to visit his sister. And I said, dude, you've got to come over and have tacos with me. So guess what? Guess what we're doing today?
Oh my gosh. I thought for sure that was a virtual background. That is not a virtual background. You guys are actually
the real deal, brother.
In a taco. Oh, that is awesome.
We are indeed. Probably the best taco place in all of town, right, Jay?
Check it out. Tacos Tijuana rocks. Give them a spin, Jeff. Show them where you are.
Tacos Tijuana rocks. And also, look, I can go right out here to the patio. Oh, and I'm just going to go right. Where is he? Okay, well, I do have a lovely patio. Well, I don't even know where Jay is. He's hiding somewhere.
Jay is hiding somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, look, no fake backgrounds. And I want to just say, as I always do, because everything I try to make relevant to people is like, man, the power of relationships, to be able to see Jay in person, and it's just so important. And we've been kicking around, what are we doing with this special show? Yeah, it's cool. By the way, we'll hold off on holding up our really great tacos from here. But I told Jay, we got to deliver. I mean, this can't be just, oh yeah, it's really cool. Jeff is over there in Arizona having tacos. So we've taken the liberty to bring in some special guests. Jay, anything to say about that? Do we want?
Yeah. So listen, it's not a party until you invite these two, and once you invite these two, it's an instant go. It's all access, VIP. Behind the chain here, we've got two of my friends, close friends that I respect and I've known for years and years and years. The one and only Charity Poppins, Charity Gibson from Peerless Umbrella is here with us, hanging out. Woo! Look at this.
Taco
Ninja, Umbrella Ninja, all around #1 on Dale Denham's top 18 social media list. Somebody may have already had a beverage. I'm not going to say anything about that because her coworker, her friend and foe, sitting out on the I don't even know if it's a balcony or just outside on the patio, is the one and only owner of Connect the Dots Promotions, Carrie Cowden. Carrie, are you still here?
Hey, out here in beautiful Arizona, having a beer and a taco.
Well, let's do a quick tacos up for the gram. Everybody get your tacos.
You're getting a screenshot there, Brandon.
Hold on. Carrie, don't drop your tacos.
Yeah,
Whatever.
There it is. Awesome. Well, everybody watching live, I am going to actually drop off. I'm going to go monitor the Facebook pages. And so if you have any questions, if you guys want to ask these guys anything while you're listening to this amazing presentation, throw them in the comments and I'll get to them at the end. Guys, we will see you at the end.
Cheers.
Well, thanks, Brandon. We'll talk to you in a little bit. So listen, this is such a blast. This is a true treat for me. I do want to thank again, and I'll probably thank him 10 more times, but to have Carrie and to have Charity here, Jeff drive all the way over from Southern California to hang out with us here in the Valley of the Sun. It's been awesome. What a great morning. It's a beautiful day. And to have tacos with friends and to keep building these relationships right now is important to us. So we're having a good time. As you can tell, we're having fun, but at the same time, we do have a couple of questions in mind, right, Jeff?
Yes, we do, because we deliver riveting content on this show.
Oh boy, that was so good. That didn't sound fake at all.
Boy, did that sound like stage or just fake or what? I'm not even sincere. I'm not here. I don't know. I'm tired. What? No, we deliver great stuff, and so it's come as no surprise that Jay has put together a couple of thought-provoking questions for our guests that will be relevant to our audience, our taco-loving audience.
I did. And let me talk to you a little bit about that. Since Charity is here and she's a well-regarded, well-respected supplier, she represents kind of a supplier side. So she has all of the experience, Of course, most of you know she did run her own distributorship successfully for years prior. But because of her viewpoint, her vantage point, it's an interesting concept to have both Carrie as the owner of a promotional products company who is a distributor, and Charity, who represents Peerless, is involved at a national level and is able to kind of give us a better view. So having these two together, I thought, let's ask them some questions. Let's find out from them, what it is that makes their heart hum and their soul sing when it comes to the relationships. And that's really the theme of our show is we pulled this off through a couple of emails and a couple of quick text messages. And it would not have hurt my feelings if any of them said, no, we can't do it. But I wasn't surprised at all that they said, hell yeah, I'm in. Let's do this. This sounds like fun. Not only is it fun, but it's a way for us to keep these relationships going. So I want to start with Charity Gibson, the National Sales Coordinator at Peerless Umbrella, the one and only. Charity, I want to ask you a little bit, and you talk about this for maybe a minute or two. Go ahead and give us your wisdom and your input. But what do you think, when you think of successful distributors, what are some of the things that they do right that make your heart hum and your soul sing?
Okay, hold it before you answer that question. I just got a comment on that umbrella spin. This is I think this is a classic Charity move. It's beautiful. It's very engaging, speaks to the brand, Peerless Umbrella. Had to throw that in because Jay threw you just a really deep question. And before you went into a deep answer, I just had to comment on the spin of the umbrella. There you go. Anything goes on the show.
So Charity, give us your best answer. What are some of the things that those distributors like Carrie and others who do really well? Let's brag on them for a minute. Highlight that for us. Tell us what are the things that you love?
They comment on my umbrella spinning skills.
Well, of course, duh.
Just kidding. No, I mean, not kidding, but so I think one of the biggest things, I probably a really short list, so I'll try and keep it quick. One, they ask really good questions of their customer. So when somebody comes and says, I want a pen or I want a cup, they say why. They ask in advance, like, what are you using this for? What is the purpose of the promotion? And they think about how they could use the imprint area and maybe even different products better to achieve that desired result at the end. Instead of just selling somebody a product, they take the time to ask because they understand that knowing the right answers is very valuable. So asking the right questions is even more valuable. The second thing I would say is that they use the imprint areas creatively. They realize that nobody really cares about brand logos, and that's tough to say, but we have to use these products to tell stories and share messages and make people fall in love with our brands, which means they fall in love with our logos. And then I think the third thing really quick would be that they understand the processes at the supplier level. So they take the time to go on factory tours. They learn about what it takes to get an order from beginning to end. So they learn how to write their purchase orders correctly, learn the lingo, understand the process. And when you help us and it's like garbage in, garbage out, the better the PO you give us, the faster and more efficiently we can turn out your order. Hopefully that helps.
That was a great answer. You crushed it, girl.
Thank you. It's the beer.
Well,
It's the beer. What were you going to say, Jeff?
Well, yeah, I think it's all about taking advantage of those suppliers who are in a great position to help you. The distributors are not on an island, especially today. Now, I do think there are some that are in a better position to help you with lifestyle images and product marketing ideas. And so those are the ones you want to gravitate towards, and they're inevitably the ones that continue to show up on our show. Not anything that we've done to make that happen. It's just that they're mentioned. And the reason they're mentioned is because they're go-to suppliers that are doing good things and helping the people we have featured on the show be successful. So I think that's really good. And I think the message for all of us is to take advantage of those and ask the questions and look at the ways that product, we learned from Charity on the other show where we were talking about that cool event umbrella. It's like you order one at a time. I was actually telling a golf friend of mine about that. He goes, wow, that'd be really cool for a golf tournament, so I didn't know that until I knew it, so there's a lot of things that are out there, and maybe it's about like there's so many suppliers, and just look at who's engaged and active online, or those that are on our show or elsewhere, that might just help you to pick through. There's a lot of great ones that are out there, but the ones you want to find, these ones who are ready and willing to help you, and so you do good business together. So anyway, that's my take on that. And I thought I was pretty serious about it, actually. I don't know, maybe too serious, but that's it.
Too serious? I don't know if that's possible, considering our atmosphere here today. Well, let's kick it over. I'm going to kick it over now to Carrie and ask her a similar question, but the flip side of that coin, because she's dealing every day with, suppliers at every level, whether that's for decorated apparel work, whether that's for promotional product work. So Carrie, my question to you would be, what are some of the things that you love that suppliers do that make your heart hum and your soul sing? Give us a list of things. What comes to your mind first when you think of successful relationships with suppliers?
So I would say, first of all, the beer truck just came. So this taco stand is definitely full. And so
it's humming.
Good. Yep, it's humming. I would say, like, right now, relationships are everything. And every stock issue or proofing issue or COVID issue or whatever, the people I'm working with are the people that I have the relationships with, because I know they're going to go to bat for me, because I keep comparing this current situation to working in molasses, because it's like stock issues are there, artwork issues are there. Someone gets COVID on the floor, they have to shut down. Someone's working from home, they don't have the connection to customer service that they did because they're virtual. So we're all in it together. And I think that the suppliers that aren't like flippant about it, and that really, as much as I need to communicate to my clients, they need to communicate to me what's going on. I would say those are my best pocket suppliers. I want to know people on the inside, because I know it's hard. I'm not saying that this is a great time to be in promo, but I think that we can all get through it for sure. And we all need to keep talking and communicating. So I would say the best thing about that makes my soul sing are the people that communicate with me, and that I can go and find out the information quickly, and also with a little empathy about all of it on both sides.
On both sides. Well said. Great answer. I totally get where you're coming from. And that's always been the case, but it's never been more important than now, right?
Right. And I would say right now, the suppliers that aren't knocking on our door to do meetings right now, I really appreciate, because we're just trying to keep everything going. And so when you want to come in and do a full product line presentation, I don't have the capacity to do that right now. And I know my salespeople don't either. So what we need right now is you to be available when we call you and say, I've got this going on. My brain is dead from all of this chasing of all the POs. Can you please help me do or find or get creative? I think that's really important right now.
So let's talk about that for a second. So how can they help you be more creative? Because, they're trying to reach out to you in a way that maybe isn't perfect for you. So what would you suggest that they do differently? Because here's what I see. I see a lot of suppliers trying to go above and beyond. They really are. We know that. Like you said, the word empathy. But I see a lot that are just kind of falling back to what they've always done. And it seems super low. It seems almost like, really, that's the best you got? The same old, same old? So how do you feel about that? What are some ideas, or what would you tell those suppliers?
I have a great example. I had an event that we did for a client, and I needed not a huge amount, because no one has money to spend. It's hard to find right now. But it was a decent, like a first, second, third prize, $100, $300, $500 for 8 different events. Not a bad order. And you would be shocked at the amount of people that actually ended up getting back to me. And what I got back from the suppliers was not curated for what I needed. It was like, well, what about this? What about this? It has a 100-piece minimum. It has this. Well, no, I need it to be, cement truck. There's construction in Arizona.
Hey, cement truck. Hey, welcome to the taco shop.
You're winning.
Oh, that was a nice 57 Chevy that drove by.
Yeah, that was
Sorry,
nice.
ADD moment.
Agreed. So I would say that right now, more than ever, you really need to know when they're calling in and they're asking for something, not to have the quick answer of here's 5 products. It's like, I would suggest maybe doing this, and maybe you don't have what I suggest, but everybody knows each other's lines. Maybe you should look over there or consider that. I don't know. I still feel like there's a lot of the way it used to be done or always has been done, and it's not changing quick enough to be more creative agency style. It's still very product driven.
So if I could jump in
Excellent
really
point.
quick, if you don't,
What?
and
Charity
I'll
wants
keep
to
it.
jump in really quick?
I know. I'm sorry. Can I blame the beer again? No, no. But I think that the one thing that I find very interesting, and this is just a mindset shift that I've been seeing happening very incrementally into the supplier side. There's, I talk about it a lot, the idea that, what is the supplier's role in the supply chain? And traditionally, the supplier's role was depending on the distributor for the sourcing and the creative and the everything. And the supplier was really here to take the order, put the imprint on it, and send it out the door. So it's just very mechanical, right? It's this machine. And we were very efficient on the supplier side at that. And what I see happening is the idea that is that the beer cart, the idea
Yeah,
that
the beer cart.
that suppliers are kind of having to step up and continue to be. He's bringing me chips and salsa. Can we do this every day? Seriously, I'm in heaven. Brandon, where are you? Get back here and come eat some chips and salsa and tacos.
No,
But I
don't
think,
get it back. That's less for us.
so that the supplier,
Nice.
these suppliers
sorry,
are having
backing
to.
up.
I love
You're
it.
gonna run me over.
The suppliers are having to kind of learn how to adapt to doing double duty and, learning how to be creative. That wasn't traditionally the supplier's place in the line. But I think as there's been consolidation, as distributors don't necessarily have the resources, especially at the individual level, if they're not affiliated. So we're seeing some weird transitions. And I think that the suppliers that really want to keep relevant have to understand or learn or be replaced by, I'm so sorry to say that, but by people who understand how to communicate what distributors need. And that is, like you said, Carrie, listening to the same thing on the supplier side, right? If you're have an event or you come to us with a need, we need to ask the better questions to figure out what you really need from us, not just say, here's this with a logo on it. Here's this with a logo on it. Yeah, we can do 25 pieces. And I think I get so many emails, and I think a lot of it is because I listen with the intent to understand and reply with the intent to actually provide help instead of just trying to answer emails as fast as I can, so it's a retraining that's definitely needed. I think, and you mentioned we're kind of doing the same old thing and reverting back to, what maybe worked before. And we can't just do the old things differently. We have to do different things. And, that's it. Adapt or die. Your iceberg is melting. Pick up the book by John Cotter. Our iceberg is melting. It's a book about penguins, but it's exactly what's happening right now in this economy. It's like, lead or be left behind.
Well said. That's deep. Sorry for the delivery. But we do have fresh tortillas. Everything's ready. And thank you, Brandon, for muting me because I was kind of worried about that. So, Jeff, what are your insights on this topic?
He has
Okay.
one banana from that whole delivery truck, just so you know.
Okay.
One banana.
There's this food like flying in from all over. Like, when are we gonna be done with this show already? No, seriously. No, not seriously. Forget it. This right here is a super deep. Just into these
You
circumstances.
can't do it. You don't need to be super deep, Jeff.
Okay,
You don't need to be super
let's go super deep, super wide, super spicy. Here's the deal. It's a new day. With free promo tips, we've completely rebranded what we've done, the messaging, and this whole thing that we're doing with Advocates for the Industry, which is about helping each other succeed. But it is a new day, and the suppliers and distributors are going to make it in this new day are going to be the ones who are able to think outside the box and better meet the client's needs and be authentic and tell the brand story and all the things that are part of what's being discussed now. And so this idea of suppliers just selling stuff, as it's not helpful. And you're going to see less suppliers, more consolidation of suppliers, less distributors, more consolidation of distributors. Yeah, just the food's just like, oh, it's awesome. Anyway, so it's a. Oh, look at that! I'm gonna finish talking real quick so I can go grab some chips. But this is really, really important, and I'm glad that we're discussing it on Tacos with Jeff. Yes, we have a good time with tacos and all that. But it really is about putting a spotlight in this case on two people, a distributor and a supplier, both who get it, to share this message for those of you who also may get it and want to succeed and want to go deeper in what you're doing and not just be the swag guy. I think the 4imprints of the world, those guys are going to do great. You know, people want mugs and pens. They're going to do awesome. But where the gold is going to be for the savvy supplier working with the savvy distributor working with savvy suppliers to help meet the needs. And Carrie, you brought up an interesting point, and it's not something we're going to discuss in this, but maybe Carrie, you might have one thought on this, but I've heard this a lot because we talked to a lot of people, how hard it is to do business as a distributor because of inventory issues. You think they have it, they don't, the customer service working from home, everything that Carrie said, but maybe real quick as I'm watching the time as well, but I think it's a point that needs to be made of how can a supplier help there? I mean, you know, either there is inventory, there's not, and you know, it's about communication and such, but do you have a thought on that, Charity?
Do I have a thought on something? That's a bold question, Jeff Solomon.
Do I need to repeat the question?
No, I definitely don't.
It's way too heavy. Forget it. Have another beer. Let's move on.
No, I think it's important. I think this goes back to that togetherness and that you know, kind of symbiotic relationship between suppliers and distributors. We do our best to communicate, but if we have, say, 100,000 pieces in stock and somebody comes in one foul swoop, you know, or say 10 people come in and they each take 10,000, that can change in a minute. So it just, like Carrie said, just being in constant communication. My suggestion is to, if you're a distributor, come to your suppliers, ask us the questions about what we have in stock. So instead of selling reactively and just giving what your customers want, come to us and ask what's in stock, what can we help you sell, what would be good for these opportunities where you do have strong supply. And then, you know, in that case, you have an opportunity to sell from what's in our bucket and reduces that sales cycle. Oh, please tell me he's stealing our chips back. Chip jacked. Anyway, so hopefully that helped as a distraction for stealing Carrie's chips. But communication. Chip jacked. I love it. Communicate.
You took the chips.
She won't let me over there. Look, here, you guys gotta see this view. There she is. The chip ninja won't let me near. Terry, that was a great answer, and I thought about that a lot. Like, let's maybe end on this point, and I do want to hear Carrie one more time. But the concept of working proactively to know what's in your pipeline and how can we make that work with this budget, with this event, with this client, rather than the other way. So I know that's not always easy, and it does require a few extra phone calls and a few extra emails. I think we would avoid a lot more drama. And I think at the end of the day, enjoy more tacos, which is always a good thing. But let's put it into practical terms. Let's ask Carrie, how would that work in her world right now? Carrie, how would that help you, or would that create more work? Or what do you think about that idea?
That we're proactive?
Yeah, like check in with Charity and say, okay, listen, I might have a project coming up for a big utility company in about 3 months. You know, here's my budget. This is what they did last year. And then, which you might already do, but then ask specific questions about like inventory, like product depth, like, you know, get into that kind of stuff earlier in the conversation. Maybe you already do that.
I'm not perfect by any means. And
Really?
yeah. And
what?
Clients are
surprise.
I know. One of my clients, when I think about my clients as proactive as I'd like to be, because we do reach out every quarter for reorder reports and that kind of stuff. And what we think are the budgets when it comes down to it are not the budgets, or they're a quarter of the budget, or there's no budget. So I also think that there has to be like, you have to know your clients and know the timing, and you're not going to be perfect, but the reality is it's not as easy to forecast because what you think is there is not always there right now. I mean, it's like the Wild West, literally, like Arizona. It's crazy out there. So, I mean, ideally, in a world of perfectness, I would love to give my reorder report to a supplier and say, hey, give me some ideas. What do you have in stock? But I don't think that's realistic either. I think you kind of have to put the weight behind it, know the value of the order and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, my dad's calling. Dad, not right now.
Say hi, Dad.
Dad,
later. I'm having
God.
beer and it's 10
I'm
o'clock
eating
in the
beer for
morning.
breakfast.
He's gonna be so proud of me.
No, and
He's gonna
I
be so
totally
proud
agree
of
with
you.
that, Carrie. It is
Yeah.
difficult to forecast sometimes. I think, and you probably do it differently than a lot of distributors, but instead of just, I think my biggest thing is like we'll go to Sage or ESP and then you'll sort by lowest price and you'll call the first 5 suppliers and it's like, oh, they're out of stock, they're this, they're that. Well, it goes back to that partnership, and then you can come to me and ask those questions. Charity, what do you have in that $10 to $15 price range with deep inventory? You can help me create a great solution to this problem, and I can help you clear out some of your back stock or something you may not have sold just by somebody sorting and searching in ESP or Sage. Like, that's where I see a big opportunity for people too, is suppliers have a hard time trying to keep the search engines optimized by lowest price. It's like, okay, we don't want to pay reorder fees or setup fees. We don't want to, run charges, all of this. I'm like, but if not, then we come up on page 7 of Sage, and who gets to page 7 of Sage?
And I
So
think that should not be your approach anyway. It should be, you
Right.
have your suppliers that you know and trust, that you have relationships with, and you take everybody else out of there. Like, my Sage search is my top suppliers, period. I don't have any of the other stuff and all the importers and all the craziness. I have the people that I know and trust, that I know I can pick up the phone and call. And that's why relationships are so important right now, because it's not just, you become a commodity when you're going and spinning like that at buffering and Google pages. Like, stop it.
100% agree. And that's the best thing for a new distributor, is don't just go to search and Sage, but really tailor your search engine to who you want to work with and how. And if you don't know how to do that, phone a friend, ask a distributor that's been in business longer, or call your Sage or ESP rep and have them walk you through how to set up those filters so that your parameters, when you do search, bring up only the best of the best.
Right.
And that would apply for all of the research tools, right? I'm not trying to be politically correct, but I just want, for anyone listening, whether it was an ASI tool or Sage tool, a Promo Corner tool, Distributor Central tool, et cetera,
Absolutely.
et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
Yep.
No, that's really, really good wisdom. I'm glad let's do this, you guys. Let's wrap up. I think we've been too serious. I was surprised we went this deep. I'm glad we did. I think Brandon and everyone at Promo Corner is probably glad we did, because when the initial idea of 4 misfits having beer and tacos at 10 a.m. in Arizona came across their desk, they were probably like, what? So this has been a blast. Jeff, why don't you wrap it up for us? Any last words of wisdom, and then we'll turn it back to Brandon.
Yeah, Jay, I really am pleasantly surprised that despite the insanity, we've gone deep and really touched on something that's really important, and that is our supplier relationships and how you pick them and how you choose them. I think. Oh, she stole the chips. Yeah, the chips are coming back our way.
We've had a taco hijack.
We want chips. We want chips. That's the kind of insanity we need here in Arizona. Yeah, chips, baby. And I actually, these chips are really good.
Maybe some of your orders are on here.
Delicious salsa too.
Oh, everything.
You should play how many pens.
I'm gonna finish this thought because it's serious. So these days, okay, there was just another online show, and bam, I'm getting slammed with all these flyers and everything, even though I don't want them. I mean, this type of marketing, I just don't know how effective it is in this marketplace. What is effective is the suppliers that are actually engaging online and are willing to help. And yeah, granted, you go into Promo Pros and somebody posts something and bam, 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 they're all gonna reach out to you, but that's okay, that's good. And at least they're involved in the community. And so I do think there's a way to tighten up that supplier mix. And I think it's just really challenging. I look and I go, oh my God, this is impersonal. Thank you for stopping by here, even though I didn't. It's so, it just turns me off, and I'm really shielded from a lot of it. But after these shows, I'm getting them. Supposedly you're not supposed to get them, but whatever. And so it's through friendships and relationships and online engagement that you can, get that top, like Carrie's talking about, like just weed out all the crap and look at who's online, who's engaging, who's, really doing the good stuff. And I don't want to tout our own horn, but those companies that are continually showing up on our show are part of the good ones. Aswita with Basecamp line, which is a great line to Southern Sports, Wounded Warrior, and all the other ones that we've had on. And of course, Charity, and really the wisdom that's being imparted in the design. These are companies, seriously, I'm getting into that preaching mode, but seriously have a desire to help the distributor. And in helping the distributor, they're helping their own company. Of course, they're in the business of selling products, but that's the way business works. And so we get away from all the fluff and all this traditional crap advertising that's out there, that especially is not going to work right now. You know, when you can come to Carrie, who's a significant distributor who really would appreciate help in working on a very significant project and make her job a little easier, because you're not just throwing her the crap, you know, you're going to help her, you know, make her job easier. And in turn, the end result is everybody's going to do great businesses, which is nothing wrong with doing business. And the client's going to be happy. Nothing wrong with doing business, right, Charity?
More tacos.
And then we all make more money. We all can have more tacos, better tacos, good tacos. And that's it. Okay, that is my very long, sort of serious wrap.
All right. Well, listen, let's give another shout out to our favorite taco joint here in Phoenix. Look up here.
Tacos
Tacos
Tijuana.
Tijuana. Woo! Yeah. They're great.
I
My
am not
tacos are
gonna
getting
lie.
cold.
I am super jealous that you guys are all together. I have been missing the promo touch and feel, if you will. And I hope that you guys have a blast. You guys took your time together and set some time for the entire industry to actually get to hear your wisdom and share your fun as well. So I can't thank you guys enough. And so, yeah, we have one last thing to do here real quick. A little tacos up with what
Jeff.
tacos you have left. Or
Already ate
beer
mine.
up. Yeah, Carrie's got to put her beer up.
Oh, good.
And that was such
Oh
a
my
fun
God.
show, you guys. Thank you so much for
Are you
bringing.
kidding me?
Thank you so much for bringing the fun and doing something out of the box. Wait, think outside the bun. So yeah. Oh,
that's
I
right.
had to.
No,
I had
right.
to. I had to. I have to be part of the group. So thank you so
Hey,
much,
let
you
me
guys.
say this, Brandon. One last thing. I want to say this. Thank you to Promo Corner and the relationships that we built
Yes.
with you guys. Thank you for taking the time to do this. You trusted us. You should have never done that. So we can't appreciate what you and what Laurie and the team at Promo Corner have done. It makes a big difference. And I think even if only 50 to 100 people see this, and I know it's more than that, that's okay with us, because those are the right people. That's our tribe. And those are the ones that are going to survive. Not only survive, but thrive.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys.
And,
Thank you so much.
okay, wait, before you go, Brandon, one more,
Yeah.
one more thing.
Yeah.
Brandon, I think we ought to just, I'll just put it out there publicly. We'll put in a budget plug for you to come out from Austin and join us in Arizona. I'm not joking. Just put, you know, Lori will be watching this, and, you know, let's just consider it. Just a thought.
Hey,
I
Or
love
an
it.
RV for you
Together.
to stay in. You can
I
tacos
see.
in my RV.
That's what I'm talking about. Tacos and RVs, and then talk like that. What? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that sounds great.
get ready to mute me.
All right, guys. Hey,
There
I'm
goes
going to
the
go ahead and
delivery
end it
truck.
right now. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Tacos Live on Promo Corner, and we will see you in 2 Tuesdays.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Tuesdays.